Okay, good evening to you all. Today is our day 11 of this day 12. Sorry, today is our day 12 of this 3-month data analytics bootcamp. Like I said, this bootcamp lasts for about 3 months, and today is our day 12. Like always, we start by showing our outlines. That is what we are to cover for the day. So these are our outlines already. We're going to have a recap on what we did yesterday, day 11, and we'll also talk about if and if nested. That's what we are going to discuss about today. So if you can recall, yesterday we talked about counts, if, count A and count blank. That's what we discussed yesterday. I've told you count all the cells that has number in them, count all the cells that are not empty, while count blank, count cells that are empty. This is what we discussed yesterday, and we did some practicals. So today we are going to talk about if and if nested. If is one of the most essential, or is among the most essential formula or functions in Excel. Not only Excel, in almost all programming languages in the world. If function is something that once you understand how it works, then of course your mind is set to start creating a lot of complex things on your own. So please try to understand this if statement, because it will help you a lot. If statement is a conditional statement whereby you will pass a criteria, you will give a condition, and once that condition is true, you want something to be returned to you. And if the condition is false, you want something to be returned in place of that false condition. So take note, there are three arguments in if statement. That is, initially 3 arguments are in if statement. 1, the condition. 2, the value if the condition is true. And 3, the value if the condition is false. So these are the 3 arguments you passed in if statement. For example, let me just say something. 1, if you have, I'm just giving a condition. I'm trying to create a condition for you. So just understand how it works. For example, if there is a car in the house, that's the condition. Understand this. If there is a car in the house, take it as the criteria. 1, if there is a car, that means it's yes, there is a car. We are going for shopping. If there is no car, we are not going anywhere. So understand this. First of all, you have a condition that if there is a car in the house, that's the condition. But you have 2 outcomes related to this condition. And either of the outcome will affect what will happen at the end, and will affect your the action you are going to take based on this condition. If yes, there is a car, then you are going to the for shopping. You are going for shopping. If there is a car, that means if it is yes, if the condition is yes, then you are going for shopping. Then if the condition is not true, that means it's false, it's no, then definitely you are not going anywhere, you are staying at home. So this is exactly what a condition means. You must have a condition, a criteria where that's what you want if that criteria is true or if that criteria is false. So the outcomes are going to be related to the condition. Please understand this. Okay, so I'll give you another example so that it will help a lot. I can say, for example, I can use the you can use anything. Maybe if there is a light, maybe you cook with gas. If there is no light, you cook using no, if there is light, you will use electric to do your all cooking and whatever. If there is no light, you will use gas. So the condition is if there is a light. So definitely if there is a light in your house, that's the condition. The outcome that are related to the condition, if the condition is true, you will use electric. If the condition is false, you will use gas. So this is what this if conditional formatting or if conditional formula is. Please understand this. Then we have if nested. We are going to do the practical. I'm just explaining everything. Then after we'll do the practical. If nested is if inside if. That means now the condition is going to be more than one condition. The condition is going to be more than one condition, and the outcome, of course, is going to be more than two outcomes. Now we are going to have more than two outcomes, and the condition are going to be more than two, more than one, more than even one condition. For example, if there is a light, I'm just giving another example. If there is a light, you'll cook with gas. You'll cook with electric. That's a condition. You just passed the first condition. And you can also say, if there is no light, that means if there is no light, then you will borrow generator. You will use generator. Now, you are not going to use gas. You're going to use generator. Then you can pass another condition. If the generator, I'm just saying this, if the generator has no fuel, then of course you are going to use gas. So now you have different conditions. First of all, there is a light. If there is no light, of course there is no light. If there is no light, then you're going to use generator. And if that generator has no fuel in it, then definitely you're going to use gas. So you have different condition with different outcomes based on the condition that you pass. And you can have more than one. And that's why this conditional formula is something that, of course, a lot of people are using, or you can also use it and try that to create grades. That's what a lot of people use to create grades. That is, if so person scored 39, he got F. If he scored 44, he got E. If he scored 49, 44 to 49, or 45 to 49, he got D. If he scored 50 to 60, 59, C. 60 to 69, B. 70 and above is A. So this is what a lot of people will write, different condition with different outcome, where each condition is true, it will give you something else. And today, of course, we are going to do that to create a lot of things, and you're going to see what we are going to create today. Okay, so let me open my Excel so that we'll start the practice and you'll see how we are going to do it. Okay, please, can you see my screen? If you can see my screen, let me know. Let me just zoom it a little bit so that you can see a lot of things. Okay, so now we are going to use, I'm going to tell you some criteria related to this particular if formula while creating the condition. That's what we are going to discuss. So you should take note on this, and it will help you a lot. So let me just write all these logical operators for you. So now we have, let me put it here. We have equal to, sorry, we have equal to, we have, okay, let me write it here, I'm sorry. Equal to, then we have greater than, less than, greater than or equals to, less than or equals. Yeah, so we have, okay, there's supposed to be, I'm sorry, greater than, less than. Okay, so please, you can take note on this. These are the operators you are going to use, the logical operators you are going to use while creating this. Take note, please. I said logical, no, the comparison, please. Comparison operators, comparison. That's the comparison, because we are going to do the logical tomorrow and next tomorrow. So I'll call it's called comparison operators. Yeah. So these are the comparison operators that we are going to use on this if to D. Of course, there are the rest we are going to use them later, but these are what you need to create a normal condition in while creating your criteria in it. So this is what we are going to talk about. So first of all, take note on this. We have equal to. That means we need the exact condition. So when you use this equal to, for example, now in Excel, if you are creating your condition, you are giving the name of a particular cell. Take note on that. I use house in giving the example if there is light in the house. So consider the house to be, to be maybe E1 or D1 or B1 or whatever. Consider the house to be that. So if you use equal to, it means you need the exact figure. That means the exact condition that what you need. You don't want less or you don't want greater. You need the exact. And in passing this condition, take note, in Excel, whenever you are using, you are writing in your formula, take note from today, when you are passing text, categorical data, or text, any categorical data that you are passing in a formula, you use double quote and you put it in between the double quote. For example, now I want to say house. So you put it inside double quote. If you are passing any categorical data, even if it is a number, but it's a categorical data, you are using that. But if you are passing a number, normal number within a formula, then you don't need to put this double quote. All you need is to put the number. If I put 88, is 88. If I put 90, is 90, the way you want it to be. So even if your outcome is going to be categorical, then your outcome should be inside double quote. But if your outcome is going to be numerical or quantitative, then it doesn't need, you don't need to put the double quote. Please take note on this. Okay. So now this is the equal to is exact. We use this equal sign to specify the equal to. We have greater than. When we say greater than, whenever you call the number and say greater than that number is not included. Please take note on this. When I say greater than 20, definitely 20 is not included, because 20 is not greater than 20. Please take note on these rules. When I say less than, if I say less than 20, of course, also 20 is not included, because 20 is not less than 20 and 20 is not greater than 20. So please take note on that. So if I say equals to 20, I mean exact 20. If I say less than 20, I mean 19 to 20. If I say greater than 20, I mean 21 upwards. That's what it means. This is what the rules means. Please take note on this. So don't come and put less than 20 and expect 20 to be part of less than 20. It's not part of less than 20. And if you also, in the same way you use greater than 20, also it will not be that again. Greater than 20 is not. Greater than 20 is not. 20 is not included. Please take note on this. 20 is not greater than 20. But if you say greater than or equal to 20, of course, now greater than or equal to 20, 20 is included and 21 upwards are included. When you say less than or equal to 20, 20 is included and 19 downwards are what are also included. Please take note on these comparison operators to help you a lot to create complex conditional condition if you want to create your own formula by yourself. So please understand this and it will help you when we start this. So let's come here and create something. Now, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this rate to create a remark. Let me call it this. I'll call it a remark. what we are going to create based on this rate, or let me just call it based on this, yeah, we can call it rate because people rate, that's what it is. When we have less than 3, understand this, when we have less than 3, that means less than or equals to 2 is less than 3. You should understand this. Less than 3 is the same as less than or equal to 2. So 2 downwards, when we have that, we call it poor comment, or let's say poor remark. That's what we are going to call it. And 3 and above, that is from 3 upwards, or anything that is not that less than 3, we want it to be excellent. So take note, let's say 4, let's say 3 downward, 3 included, let's say less than or equals to 3, that is from 4 and 5 to be excellent. That's what we need, excellent. So 4, poor, excellent, that's what we need. So take note on this if formula that we are going to use. Now, what this if formula means? Okay, I think instead of us to use this one with different, let's use this one. We can also use this one. Let's use this one so that when we come back, we can use another one so that you will understand it more. So now understand this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from 3 downwards, we want it to be poor. And from 4 to 5, we want it to be excellent. So what something that about this if formula is, you are just giving one condition. Like I told you, it takes one condition because we are not talking about if nested. It takes one condition. So I'm just going to say if, just to write if E2, that's where this starts, if this E2 is less than or equals to 3, that's what I just passed. Less than or equal to 3, that's the condition. Then I put comma. I'm done with the condition. Whenever you are done with the statement, that is you passed it, you are done with it, then you put comma. The next thing I told you after condition is the value if the condition is true. So if this condition is true, what do we want to see? We put double quote, then we put poor, then we close our double quote, then we put comma. Now we passed what we want to see if our value is what? If our value is less than or equals to 3, we want to see poor. But once the condition is not true, what we want to see, we just want to see excellent. We don't need to pass anything because now, once we don't have this condition, anything other than this condition within the cell is going to be what? Is going to be excellent. That's all. So now if I press enter, by default, it will give us excellent because it's 4. Then I can just drag it down or double click to drag it down. Wherever there is 3 or less than 3 is going to give us poor. And wherever there is 4 and above or anything other than 0, 1, 2, 3 is going to be excellent. So if I even turn this to 8, it will remain excellent because I didn't restrict it to only 5. I just let it to be 1. It is not that condition. That is, it's not less than or equals to 3. I just want it to be poor. But once it is not that condition less than 3, it will be excellent. Now, if I put 4, it will remain excellent. But if I put 0, it will give us poor. If I put 1, it will give us poor. If I put 2, poor. 3, poor. But when I put 4, then definitely it will give us what? It will give us excellent. Even if I put 3.2, it will give us excellent. 3.1, it will give us excellent. But if I put 3 alone or 3.0, it will definitely give us poor because it's less than 3 or equals to 3. That's what we said. So please, do you understand this? Okay, of course, there is a recording you can watch later and see it. So let's use this one also. Let's use this one. So now we are going to create the if formula again, or if nested. Now, what we are going to do is that, because the issue of creating this, like I told you, of creating this without leaving it, without restricting it to 5 alone, it means that any figure that somebody put, even if it is not within the range, is going to give him the value, because it's going to give him the value false, because the value is false with the condition. So that way when I put 8, it still gives us excellent. But we can restrict it to 5 so that it will not go beyond 5 for us to create. Then by that, we need to create another condition and restrict it to 5 alone. That's what we are going to do. But now, let me create this first, then we'll come back to this and create something similar. Now we have this RH and RHI. Wherever there is RH plus, we want to see positive. But where there is RH minus, we want to see negative. That's what we are going to create. We are going to use if nested to create that. We're going to say equal to if C2, open bracket, C2 is equal to, now it's not a number. We're going to use double quote. I already told you. Then we're going to write the exact RH plus in this cell. If C2 is RH plus, comma, we want to see positive, comma, that's the value if true. If it is not, or we want to say if it is RH minus, then we are going to create another if again. If, because I'm done with this and we don't need to pass any value if false, because this value if false in this if nested is for us to create another condition. That means if open bracket, the same C2 is equals to RH minus, comma, we want to see negative. That's it. So what we are going to do now, we are going to close 2 brackets because we open 2 brackets. Look at it. The first bracket is the first if, the second bracket is the second if. So we are going to close 2 brackets like this and press enter. So now it gives us positive. If I double click it, wherever there is R, it's going to give us negative. But take note, let me show something. If I put J, it will give us false. Why? Because we don't have any condition that treats this G. Definitely, if you see this false, definitely the person put something that is wrong. It's out of what we want. It's not RH plus or RH minus. But if I put RH minus, I put enter, it will give us negative. And if I put RH plus, it will give us positive. And this is what you are going to see. If you scroll down, it's going to give you negative, negative, positive, and positive. And also this here, if I say equals to if open bracket, this, I'm going now to restrict it to 5. We're not going to leave it blank. If this is less than or equals to 3, comma, I'm going to say poor. Then I will say if open bracket, the same cell, which is E2, is less than or equals to 5. Now, what this means is that, let me explain this to you. Since we create the first criteria, less than or equals to 3. Now, if I use less than or equals to 5, it means from 5 downwards to 3. But 3 excluded, it means 4. That means now what I mean, 4 and 5 is the only if false of this particular condition that I gave. So now in first condition that I say less than or equals to 3, I treated 0, 1, 2, 3 here. But here that I say less than or equals to 5, I treated 4 and 5 alone because it begins from where I stopped here. That's what this means. So now the only thing that I'll need to pass the value if true, then I will say excellent. Then I'll close it, then I'll close 2 bracket, 1, 2. Then I'll press enter. It will give us 4. If I double click it, it will give us this. Now, if I come and put 6, it will give us false. Why? Because we don't have any condition to treat 6. But we can create that condition. That means if it is other than this, we need something. So now we can say, we made a mistake. And I never wanted to do this. I don't want to confuse you people, but yeah, let's just do that. Okay. So now it means we create a false condition where we don't have 5. You see, if we have 5, it's going to give us excellent. If we have 4, it's going to give us excellent. If we have 3, it's going to give us poor. But if I put anything other than 1 to 5, if I put 6, it's going to give us, you made a mistake. Because I put, now at the end of this particular condition, I put another if false at the end of it, which is here. I put this if false, telling that, okay, if it is not this, that is, if it is not this condition and it's not this condition, I want it to give me this. Or I can say you enter a wrong number. Sorry. Now, if I put this, then it will say you enter a wrong number. If I put anything other than 1 to 5, 1, it will give me 4, 4, it will give me excellent, 6, it will give me you enter a wrong number. Yeah, there is G here. I'm sorry. So it will give you this. So take note on this, please. While creating this if nested, no matter how many conditions you give it, you need to close that particular open bracket that you created. Even if it is 10 conditions, you need to close 10 brackets. And take note, each condition can take this, but if you are using, please take note on this. Let me explain this again. If you are using if nested, don't put if false at the first condition. You only put if false at the final condition. That is last condition. It means when all these that I highlighted are false, you want this final condition to come. You are triggering this final one. Then you close all your brackets. That's how you do it. Please take note on this. So don't create it here. Don't create if false here. Just create your if false at the end of the last condition that you created. That's how you are going to do it. So please rewatch this video and you can do it. You can do it. Try as much as you can. We use number and we use text. We use quantitative and we use qualitative data. So please practice this. Try your own. Try your things. Try to create a lot of things. Try to create different things. And tomorrow we'll continue. We have another if nested of that has to do with the logical operators. So please, if you have anything, you can ask. If you have anything, you can ask in the chats. I will respond to you. If you have a question, you can ask, please. No, you can't use if, you can't do that. Okay, Abdurrashid, it's okay. I'll drop the link of the video. I've told if statement is the same with if. The only difference between if nested and if statement is when you are using different condition. That's when you are using different. If you have only one condition, that is, it's either yes or no in your condition, you use if statement. You use only if. It's the same formula with if nested. Don't confuse the two. It's the same formula. It's just this one has different condition in it. That's why it's called if nested, while the other one has only one condition. That's why I divided them into two for you. But it's the same. So stop saying that maybe if you can use if instead of if nested. I didn't even get what you are trying to say. Are you not listening to what I just said? I just told you that if nested is where you have multiple conditions. That's when you use if nested. Because it's if nested, that's what we call it. That's why it is called if nested, because it have different if in it. That's why it's called if nested. And when it is only one condition, you only want to have one condition, either yes or no. You just need you don't need nested in it. You only create value, you only create condition, value if true, value if false, you close your condition, and that's all you did it. That's how you get it. So I'll drop the video very soon to you to watch, and then we meet tomorrow so that we call it tomorrow we'll end this if all of it. So please let's meet tomorrow, I think, so that we can finish this if tomorrow. Thank you so much and see you tomorrow. Good night.